Hi, my name is Norma Hickox and I'm a professional musician. I play and teach 6 instruments and compose music. I've been an organist and choir director for many different religious denominations. I've also taught vocal music in private elementary and preschools, and I've had my own dance band in the past. I live in Simi Valley, California with my son Neil, his wife Claudia, daughter Fiorella, and son Leland. Neil is a computer scientist and has done many of the drawings used in the teachings. He has also kept my computer updated and in good operating condition. I couldn't have done any of this without his help. When I began composing in 1981, the music and lyrics would flow out in complete form. A year later, I began to receive information from a spiritual source that flowed the same way as the music. This new material was later explained to be from spiritual teachers whose intent is to bring the chrysalis teachings to human understanding. I call the higher aspect of my soul the time traveler. He is the transformer of the vibrations and the interpreter of higher plane information on which I rely to understand the thought pictures I access. The time traveler rides on his magic carpet of time, which is powered by the vibration of the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. The vibration of the colors of the rainbow matches the vibration of the musical scale of C. The time traveler himself vibrates at the tone of middle C. He is from the musical universe and is actually one of the first bits of vibration that were a result of the Big Bang. He has the ability to travel instantly to any time period of the universe. He can open windows for us to experience events that have happened in the past, windows on the past, events that are happening now, journeys in the present, and events that will happen in the future, pathways to the future. The Creator is actually a scientific reaction to circumstances. This is truly the secret of the universe, a scientific response in which all of creation was based and is still based. You and everyone else on the earth are the future and are responsible for the continuing progress and evolvement. There is no one up there that is giving original orders. Each generation of evolution becomes more splendid. We are indeed creators of our own universe, not only on a small size scale, but also on a large scale. Going deep within the cosmos to the beginning of the timeline of eternity, we will experience the events that led up to the Big Bang, which brought our universe into being. When we reach the time spot of 15 billion years ago, we'll take a look at the buildup of vibrations inside the original black hole in the ethereal realm. The vibrations build up to the 7th universe and imploded, then build up to the 7th universe again, causing the first nuclear explosion, which was the beginning of our universe. In the beginning, before God was, there was nothing but a vacuum. This vacuum was in the ethereal realm to begin with. The original cocoon of ethereal matter, or black hole, formed out of nothingness. A vacuum so intense with nothing will eventually produce a gaseous substance. This gaseous substance, the ethereal matter that forms because of the dark, freezing stillness, is another aspect of eternity, the same as the fact that there is no time or space in eternity. It is impossible for us to conceive of total darkness, stillness, and freezing temperatures in physical matter being able to bring about life, but this is exactly what it takes in the ethereal realm. The combination of these 3 items causes the coming to life of ethereal matter. These factors are probably as close as anyone is capable of giving to explain the beginning of creation.
The first time spot I'm going to take you to will help you experience the events that led up to the Big Bang, an inside look, if you will.
Universe number 1, tone of C, color of red, potential differentiation. This cocooned vacuum of complete stillness, frozen and dark, eventually produced the vibration. This first universe was an endless identical frequency of light with the potential to separate into fragments, the absolute beginning of all. Universe number 2, tone of D, color of orange, potential force. Vibration caused a tear in the cocoon. Universe number 2 was just being, a state of stagnation combined with force. The vibration tore away skin of the original black hole. Universe number 3, tone of E, color of yellow, potential expansion. The tear in the universe caused it to unfold its petals. The third universe is built on the building block called potential expansion, an unfoldment of nothing or vacuum. Universe number 4, tone of F, color of green, first manifestation of sound. Universe number 4 saw the actual manifestation of sound in physical matter, a droplet of condensation formed, the first matter in the universe. Universe number 5, tone of G, color of blue, first manifestation of color. The droplet of condensation, the atom, split in half, forming two droplets or atoms, one positive, sound, one negative, color, bringing in the manifestation of colors and the first manifestation of male and female energies, the first polarity in the universe. Universe number 6, tone of A, color of indigo, the first manifestation of friction. In universe number 6, one droplet pulled more vacuum in and the other half gave back to the vacuum, causing it to overbalance. The friction between colors and sound caused the area to be filled with crystalline white light. The first universe number 7, the tone of B, implosion, the color of violet. First manifestation of energy, the actual beginning of creation, the start of everything, was caused by this vacuum becoming so great that it caused an implosion, a vacuum sucking into itself. The potential of enormous growth and evolution was present in the 5th and 6th universes and produced atmospheric effects that manifested in matter as clouds. The clouds became surging, pregnant units of force made up of frequency. The build-up into glorious beauty could not be contained and caused the stripping away of each universe in a receding order, falling clear back to the beginning, and the build-up began again, only as a transformed beginning. The build-up leading to the explosion followed the same path as the first build-up. The first 7 universes were like 7 puffs or pulsations of a mushroom cloud, followed by an atomic bomb explosion. When the build-up of the 7 universes reached the same point the second time and imploded, the droplets reunited and pushed the material contained in the droplets back out into what was left of the vacuum and caused the big explosion to take place. This light eventually sank or collapsed into the black hole where the tiny, tiny original atom that came about because of the explosion is still churning forth its energy that is bubbling up out of this black hole for all time. This one atom that was left pure and whole and fused is smaller but more powerful than anything that expanded off of it. Even though what expanded off from it is enormous in size by comparison, it is the generator of the life forces for all reaches of all universes. We are still in the action of the big explosion. You and I and everyone are descended, you might say, from this 7th universe. We still have a long way to go before we can actually reach anything we can relate to on a more personal level, but this is our spiritual family tree. The explosion blasted the subatomic particles outward and upward above the line of demarcation, crystallizing them for all time. The attracting and repelling forces of the universe came into being and caused the very first subatomic particles that exploded out of the black hole to immediately rush or expand into the vacuum. Instead of dissipating, like a cloud in our sky will break up and disappear, the remnants of the fiery gas of creation, hydrogen, were frozen for all time as they drifted off into the absolute 0 degrees of the virgin outer space in which the Big Bang took place. The process of forming a skim of ice took place as they cooled in the outer reaches of space. Here they formed a superstructure over everything. This superstructure, or crystalline lattice, then, is frozen hydrogen in outer space. The whole universe formed into a crystalline lattice at the time of the Big Bang. It is in the forming of the lattice that we find the necessary processes to give birth to new creations. The grid map that we have over our planet is a small part of this crystalline lattice of the universe. The rays of the suns between the universes in the superstructure strike the crystalline lattice containing each universe and cause several reactions to take place. To begin with, it separates the universe into a network of vibratory fields which manifest in different dimensions. These dimensions then operate and grow and evolve within their own vibratory field. Picture it as a crystal or diamond that the sun shines on. Each facet of the crystal will give off or emit the colored light of its particular musical tone. There are 12 musical tones in each crystalline lattice that formed at the beginning creation. These lattices are made up of ice that formed out of the superstructure of the explosion. They became frozen streams of time and space. This was the theory behind the large crystal at Atlantis. Because this lattice formed over the subatomic particles of which our universe was made, it preserved the integrity of the atomic bits of matter, including you and me. In other words, we were not destroyed. We were allowed to live and to start the process of evolution because of the protective crystalline lattice. The crystalline lattice that formed over the gases at beginning creation preserved the molecular action of the inert gases and separated them into enclosed units that all had a mixture of the primal gases in them. These mixtures then began a process of decomposition, you might say, which led to a new formation of gases. The decomposition of the inert gases led to the forming of the active gases. Even from the beginning of the universe, the process of evolution remains ever the same. The new is built upon the old in an upgraded form. Therefore, the inert gases are, as a matter of fact, the basis of the new active gases that formed. This lattice kept the gases of each particular facet from spreading. In other words, it set a limit of their expansion, thereby allowing or causing interaction between the gases and the light being reflected off of the lattice by the original explosion. The explosion shattered all except one atom, which was left perfect and whole, the hydrogen atom. This, then, was the birth of our Creator, the beginning of our universe. This tiny black spot is a tiny black hole of compressed space, and this is where the very high, most central, all-powerful, original core of energy is to be found. The central core of the universe is the life force of all in it. It is made up of frequencies of energies that are so high in pitch that 1 second of a sound of them would split Earth in half. Such a high frequency of pitch or vibration is unknown on the Earth. This central core is the energy center of those extremely high frequencies. This energy is the harmony of the spheres. Hydrogen can be called God if you desire to tie it in with other teachings, but it isn't actually God until it takes on other properties. This would be the same as you. When you were born, you were a subatomic particle. When you reached the stage where the divine sparks were split, each half kept its male and female energies. The hydrogen atom did not split. This is the difference. This means that male and female were kept contained within male and female. Therefore, it is at all times working with a double set of positive and a double set of negative energies. What this allows it to do is to have influence over every other subatomic particle in existence. This is why it can be considered God or the Creator God. Having this influence over all else means that all else will have some part of hydrogen in it to be fully functioning part of creation. In the beginning, the inert gases did not have hydrogen as part of them, due to being part of the same explosion that gave birth to hydrogen. Therefore, these gases will not mix with other elements until they receive a share of this hydrogen through a transmutation process. The inert gases will not attract each other until they have gone through a buffering process of being taken from either a gaseous state or a solid state and be liquefied. The buffering process or transmutation will then enable all items brought into manifestation on the earth to have a spark of the Creator, a tiny bit of hydrogen, as its base, and therefore will be compatible and harmonious with all other things in the universe. Until this transmutation takes place, there cannot be harmony among all elements, and until there is harmony among all elements, the compounded universe cannot come into existence. A compounded universe means it is built on blocked or stacked harmony, not single octave harmony. Stacked or blocked harmony simply means harmony spread over octaves instead of being close harmony, that within a single octave, which is what most of our music today consists of. Stacked harmony means that each tone in the musical chord is in a higher octave than the one before. It needs to widen out this way and become stacked harmony, which then resonates much more powerfully than close harmony. Close harmony does not give a strong enough magnetic pull to lock any heavenly body into orbit around another. Stacked or blocked harmony will pave the way for collaboration between all worlds, whereas single octave harmony keeps all worlds separated. By using stacked harmony, there can exist communication and travel between all inhabited worlds. We will be able to receive visits from the same constellation that seeded and helped our planet in the beginning. This will allow for fast progress into spiritual values on the Earth plane. Until this happens, the planet will continue to be torn apart by wars and famine. If something new comes into being, the hydrogen atom is not to be lost as it evolves. This includes human beings. When they are born, this atom is a large part of their makeup, but once the new personality comes into being, the original core of hydrogen and its importance is pushed into the background. This must not happen anymore. The process will involve music at every step of the way. Many people will not accept the statement that hydrogen atom is truly the creator, and it needs to be accepted. It is the mind that created everything. It is the creator of original creation.